All right, we're going to show you how to install the regulators and also leak check the regulators. So the first step is you have to get your tanks mounted in place. We've already done that. And we'll remove these caps off of both of our tanks. If you ordered the gases from us, the net will signify that's your span gas, and without the net, that's going to be your zero gas. So we're going to take our zero regulator, which is actually hooked up to our zero port on our auto-calibration box. And it's pretty simple. If you look at the thread here, you'll see a notch in the nut itself. That means that it's reverse thread. So instead of spinning clockwise, we're going to spin counter anti-clockwise. So I'm going to attach that right here and spin anti-clockwise to tighten it. And once I've got it finger tight, I'll start using a crescent wrench. And we'll put the torque setting for that right on the screen right now. And now with that in place, you want to be careful with it because it is high pressure, but you should be able to rotate it to get it out of the way. Just don't hit it really hard. All right, one thing that you'll also notice before I put the second one on, there's an O-ring on the stem itself. You want to make sure that that is intact and not degraded. If you need extra O-rings, there will be more provided in the toolbox. And just like before, because it's reverse thread, we're going to turn it counterclockwise, anti-clockwise to tighten it. And once we have it finger tight, we'll use the crescent wrench to apply the torque just as before. All right, so then we got to hook up our calibration tubes. And you'll notice that these are labeled span and zero. So I'm going to attach the zero tube to the zero regulator. And once you get it going, just make it finger tight. And then use your crescent wrench to go 1/4 turn past finger tight. We'll do the same for the span. Now it's finger tight, so I'll just go 1/4 turn past finger tight. All right, so now we have them screwed on and attached, but we still need to leak check them. And so the leak check process is pretty simple if the system is on and online. We have these systems both online, and so all we have to do is open the valve all the way on both tanks. If you do hear a lot of pressure flowing through, then turn it off. There's a big leak, but if you don't hear anything once you turn the valve all the way on, then we're just going to close the tanks. And now if you look down at our LCD here, about 2,000 PSI. After at least 2 hours, we want to go ahead and look at the pressures on the tanks again and make sure that they have not changed significantly. We started off at 2,000 PSI, and now we still have about 2,000 PSI. If it does drop significantly, then you do have a leak somewhere and you'll need to use the snoop to leak check it. After 2 hours, if there's no leak on it, then you can go ahead and turn your tanks fully on. And now we're set for auto calibrations. All right, so we have simulated a small leak in our zero gas here. And if we're using this snoop, and it's just basically soap and water. If you spray it on this stem right here, you'll see it bubbling up quite a bit. This should be able to detect leaks even if you can't hear them. So I'm going to tighten this until I see the bubbles stop. And now once the bubbles have stopped, I'm going to turn this back on to repressurize, and I can still see there's some bubbles forming right there. So I'm going to tighten it again, and we still got some bubbles. If you do have a leak that won't stop even if you tighten it as much as possible, you'll probably have to replace the O-ring on the stem.